Hello and welcome to today's training for Discus. Today's session is Mastering Research Prep with, or I should say Mastering Research Preparation with Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints. My name is Tammy Burke. I'm a senior trainer at Gale, and I'm excited to talk to you about not only all of the great content that you have available in Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints, but all of the ready-to-go materials for students that we have available on our Gale support site. So our focus of today's training is on the content within Gale in Context Opposing Viewpoints to support student research projects along with the tools that we have available, including highlights and notes, Get Link, Google and Microsoft integration, just to name a few. We will also explore the materials that we have created, such as student activities to support growing research skills, using databases for research, tip sheets, video tutorials, and so much more. And not only that, but I have curated that collection of materials into a document so that they are linked out so that you can immediately access them. And I'm going to provide you with that information during today's training. So let's jump in and talk a little bit about our agenda. I'm going to start with access and overview of the Gale resources that you have available. Again, we're focusing on just one today. We're going to spend the majority of our time browsing that content, the tools, and the materials that we have available. Any questions, I encourage you to use the Q&A box, and then I will share with you the Gale support site today too. You'll get a sneak peek of it to start with all the curated materials that I have created for you, but then I will also talk a little bit more about the Gale support site towards the end of today's training, along with contact folks, people you can contact at Gale if you have one-on-one support that you need in all things Gale. We have our Gale customer success managers. Of course, always start with the folks at Discus. And I will provide you with their contact information. So always start there for that support that you might need for your Discus resources. To access the Discus resources, you can go directly to the Discus portal or Discus site, and you'll find all of your Gale resources listed there. The Gale resources that you have available, you have in the In Context suite, you have Gale In Context Elementary for our kindergarten through fifth grade cross-curricular general reference. For our middle schoolers and high schoolers, Gale In Context Biography. This is also a nice one for parents that are working with elementary students. The reading level is high, so it's not for elementary students. We have great biographical information on all on all people, historical to contemporary, artists, athletes in Gale In Context Elementary. But if they're wanting a little bit more, you can introduce parents to Gale In Context Biography. And then we also have Gale In Context Opposing Viewpoints, which is the one we're focusing on today. Hot topics, social issues. You'll find controversial issues also available here in Gale In Context Opposing Viewpoints. Your newest resource is Chilton Library. This is for our car enthusiasts, our CTE courses, any type of mechanics, anyone working on a car. This is what Chilton Library is used for. It is digital. It is a beloved resource that you will find mechanics have these old books on their shelves. They are green and the paper is really thin, and now they have all that information digitally in Chilton Library. So they can access it mobile responsive. We also have the ASE test prep here in Chilton Library. So not something we're covering, but just to let you know, if you have students that are preparing for that ASE certification, they can take the test prep quizzes here within Chilton Library. And then in your Gale eBooks collection, you have the For Students series. So you have drama for students, all of the ebooks in that series, novels for students, poetry for students, and short stories for students. And these are a collection. You have each series available with the volumes, and you can access them all through Gale eBooks. Or the Discus site does have them individually linked. So if you're just looking for novels for student, you can go to the Discus website and just access all of those titles. If you would like access to all four titles, then you can access through Gale eBooks. So let's talk a little bit about Gale In Context Opposing Viewpoints. This is Again, like I mentioned, hot topics, social issues, it's trusted reference, top periodicals. You'll also find great multimedia such as videos, images, audio files available. We have statistics and informed viewpoints. So we have viewpoint essays available within this resource that have a commentary and questions to consider. We also have interactive infographics available within this resource. Support curriculum standards, you'll find frequently studied topics and current social issues, debated topics, science, social studies, language arts, all available. And then we have the Google Microsoft integration, which really helps when you're talking about preparing for research. When students want to save content from within the resource, they can simply send it directly to Google or Microsoft. It'll land in a folder and it'll be nice and organized for them. They can even mark up the document before they send it. So I'll talk a little bit more about that as we jump into the resources. You will find unlimited print, download, and email options available, and then highlights and notes and so much more. Now, what I have done is I've taken all of our student activities, tip sheets, and video tutorials, and I've curated them into a document. Actually, it's a 2-page document. And there's a bit.ly link here, or if you want to use the QR code and bookmark this, I will also share it in the chat right now. And I will jump into a few of these documents, but like I said, I've curated all kinds of different documents that we have available, like tip sheets, teacher tip sheets, Gale in the classroom, and that is specifically for opposing viewpoints, or search like a pro, searching skills activity, annotate text with Gale's highlights and notes, blank biographical organizers, constructing arguments graphic organizer, identify claims, evidence, and reasoning, article activity. So we have a lot of different documents available that are ready to go. And then also short little video tutorials that you can share with students on some of the tools and features that you'll find within the resources. But we also have some video tutorials on when you need a research topic, or narrowing down your research topic. And I've curated this again onto a document so that you can easily access that information. I shared the bit.ly URL in the chat. You'll also see it here, or you can scan that QR code. All right, let's jump into the resource, and then I'll come back towards the end of the session and click into a few of these documents so you can see them. So if you are accessing this information now, come back to me. Let's go into our resource and take a look around so I can highlight some of the tools and features we have available. I promise we'll come back to that curated document so we can take a look at some of those resources. All right, so it looks like I am. Let's share that. Make sure that's sharing correctly. There we go. So Gale in Context, Opposing Viewpoints. I do consider this one cross-curricular because it does cover a lot of subject areas. I have already signed in with Google, but you can sign in with Microsoft here at the top. I'm set up as a teacher, so if I wanted to post anything in Google Classroom, it's really simple. I just click on the green icon no matter where I'm at within the resource, and it'll pull that content directly into Google Classroom for me. I have the translate feature where I can translate the navigational tools on the resource into over 34 languages. And this is separate than our document level translation. So this is again translating these navigational tools. You have your basic search and advanced search here. And then our contextual toolbar, as I scroll down, will have issues of interest that change every month at the top of the page that you can scroll through and go directly to the topic guide. Or below, we have subject categories where I can jump into specific topics that we have available. So our topic pages or topic guides are curated collections of information, great to support research because it is organized, it's curated already for students, and they can even filter down further once they're on that topic page. So it makes it really easy for students to find great content. You can see we have quite a few that we have updated. We even have our new topic available for the national debate topic here. So again, great to support. If you have debate classes and that's your focus, this is a great way to access that information. We also have Topic Finder, which is one of our search options. It's visual and interactive. I will model that for you today. Access to content directly related to, yes, related to curriculum standards. And then we do have some educator resources that'll take you to some of the support materials that I'm going to share today that are related to this topic, or I should say to this resource. All right, so let's jump in. I want to start by, I'm going to use the basic search. I know that the topic pages that I'm going to jump into are here below under these subject categories, but what I would like to do is show you, if you are using a basic search, what happens. So I did take a look at some of the popular topics that are being searched for in South Carolina. And I pulled those out because these are of interest to students, something that is in the news right now, cell phones in schools. So not surprising in the last month that that we are seeing more searches within this resource on this topic. Cell phones in schools, then when I get to the topic guide overview, you can see I have an image and essay overview or topic overview document. As I scroll down, I have featured viewpoints. So featured viewpoints with the little star icon, these are hand selected by our content editors and subject matter specialists. So we consider this the best of the best. It's also a great spot. If students are getting started with their research, they're not sure if this is a topic maybe they want to cover, or this is it. They want to find a little bit more information and see both sides of the issue. Our featured viewpoints is a great place for them to get started. So when we talk about research prep, direct them to the featured viewpoints section. Again, these have been selected by our subject matter specialists and content editors at Gale. Another great place to get started, and this is if they aren't really sure, maybe they want to do cell phones in schools, maybe they want a different topic, is to utilize our topic overviews, because these will give them exactly that, an overview of the topic. It also links out, our Explore panel link out to more like this. You'll see this to the right of our documents where they can find supplemental information. So yes, this is something they're interested in, and here's some supplemental documents available. A lot of our content is hyperlinked out. So that'll also take them to additional content. So just from one article, they can do additional exploration. This is before I even hit the complete topic page that I have available. We do give a few tips on pros and cons, but what we don't do is identify articles as a pro article and a con article. So we want students to develop those critical thinking skills as they're developing their research skills. So, but we do give them, not in all of our documents, but in some of our text features on documents that we publish, because Gale is a publisher. We have been for over 65 years. So you'll see at the top when it says that it's from Gale or the Gale Online Collection, that this is content that we have published. So you will see some of these text features. This one has pros and cons. It might have something else. It might have some fast facts, or it might have a timeline, or this one has also critical thinking questions, which are great to utilize within the classroom. And then of course, every document, image, video, when we're talking about research prep, your source citation is automatically attached. You can change the format. You can also choose where you'd like to export it to. If I change it to APA and then send it to Google or Microsoft, which you can see in my toolbar here, I have my send to option, download or print. If I change that format here, it'll stick with this document, change to the APA or Chicago or Harvard, whichever I'm using, and it will go with my document wherever I send it. So if I'm sending it to Google Drive, OneDrive, or email, if I click on that paper airplane, download or print, my citation will be in that APA format. If I scroll back up, you'll notice that I do have some quick send options here. So all of these same options that are at the top are also in my toolbar, but when I'm scrolling down and I'm towards the end of a document, I don't necessarily need to have to scroll back up to send it. I can utilize my tools here in the top. I also have the ability to change the Lexile measure. So you can see we're at a 1400, but if I need an 1160, I can change that and it'll change the text for me. You can see now we have fast facts instead of pro con. So some of those text features will change too, but we still do have critical thinking questions. They're just a little bit easier. We're changing the text or the reading levels is essentially what we're doing. Okay, let's look at this topic page a little bit more. Something that is really helpful for students when they're doing research, if they're they've clicked into a topic page and they want to filter through those results quickly, they can use our search within results. So if they're looking for something specific, they can quickly drill down and utilize this tool here. You also can see all of our different content types that we have available. So if they're looking for video content or audio content, they're interested in those interactive infographics or need statistics, they can very easily jump to any of those content types and find exactly what they're looking for. I can, of course, scroll down also and select any of them by clicking on the title here for reference, or view all reference documents, or simply clicking into one of the three that are being highlighted here on the page. As I scroll down at the very bottom of the page, you will find, and this one has a lot of related topic pages that we have available. So you can see from one topic page, there's so many opportunities to find more content. So let's say I am interested in going to like social media. That's always a top search in Discus. It has been or I should say in South Carolina, has been this last year. So I can explore that social media topic page. If I have clicked into featured viewpoints, I have the ability to filter down my results. Or what's the difference between featured viewpoints and viewpoints? Viewpoints are actually our viewpoint essays. You can see the document type here. And these start with an article commentary, so it might be some information about the author. And then they also have questions to consider. Again, really helpful when you are doing your research. These are things that students can think about, they can bring into their projects and utilize what's here. They wanted to, let's say they were looking at this document and I want to highlight. I can click and drag over any text to highlight that content. This is question 1 and save. If I scroll down and I find the information that's related to question 1, let's say it's this big paragraph here. I made that blue, right? Yes. So I can make this blue, and then I might want to make a note to myself to summarize later. And what happens is when I send this to my Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, email, download, or print, I've marked it up and it'll save that information. So I send this to my Google Drive. It lands in a folder titled Gale In Context Opposing Viewpoints. The very first time, I will need to verify that I want that information sent to my Google Drive, like I have to give permission the very first time I send it, if I've never used Gale resources before. And all it is we are just asking permission to send that content directly to your Google Drive. It is here, but it'll land in this folder. It also lives in my, let me see if I can share it with you real quick. I have quite a few in here, so it always takes me a second to find that document when it's right there on that home page. Here it is. Okay, so you can see I've highlighted that text. Not only that, but below my citation, which if I needed to change it to a different format, it's defaulted to MLA 9th edition. I could have done that before I sent it, but everything I've marked up is here. Now, I do want to point out, since I'm on a viewpoint essay and there's a commentary and then the actual article, I'm going to see 2 citations. So that's why I'm seeing so much information here. It's because of there's one for the commentary and then there's one for the article itself, but that's only on our viewpoint essays. But I have it in my Google Drive until I choose to delete it. And again, it's organized into a folder titled Gale In Context Opposing Viewpoints. You can see lots of folders here on mine because I'm always in these resources. Oops. Okay. So I wanted to cover those tools. I also can, let me go back. If there's let's say if I'm on that topic page and I want to share this entire topic page, I can use the get link tool. It provides a persistent URL back to this exact spot. Or maybe I'm on the interactive infographics and I want to link out to that directly. Same thing. I use get link and it'll take me back to this exact spot. Or my students. If I wanted to share this in Google Classroom, I just open Google Classroom, choose my action. So if I want to make an announcement or create an assignment, I can do that. And it'll pull this content directly wherever I'm at. It'll pull it into my Google Classroom and I can share that information immediately with my students. I can also filter my results. I can drill down. I love to use when I'm talking about, say, the news articles, because we have over 178,000 news articles on this topic. I might use publication date to just filter down to if I'm looking specifically for the last year. I have newspaper sections, document types I can select from, specific subjects. I even have a search within here. So I can just search within this news section. What'll happen though, any filter I select, it'll drill down everything at once. So let's say I'm looking for subject information on social network. You can see it filtered down everything at one time. So my news articles went from 178,000 to 10,000. Still a lot, but it has filtered it down. If I want to filter to the most recent, I can sort by because it's news. I might want the most recent, which is actually the one that's at the top, was also the most relevant. So both are the same. So February 25th is our most recent news article. And these resources are being updated every day throughout the day. So as soon as information is available to us, we add it in. You can see Washington Post, New York Times, we have available in our news articles. We do have peer-reviewed journals. So if that is required for student research, we do have peer-reviewed journals. And you will see them marked right here if it's a peer-reviewed journal. So those are in our academic journals. And then again, we have audio files and videos available. Let me share with you, I'm going to remove this filter. Let me share with you those interactive infographics so you can see those. And I'm going to go to this one. So you can see these I can filter down. So all teenagers, where are they spending more of their time? YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Boys are on YouTube and girls are on TikTok a little bit more. So you can see I can interact with these infographics. And there are all different kinds of infographics available. You might see a pie graph. You might see, up to, I've seen up to 4, I think is the most I've seen, depending on the topic. Okay, so we're towards the end of our time. A couple other topics I want to share with you. Make sure, oh, one other thing. We do have Topic Finder available. So I'm on a topic page. I can pull that content into Topic Finder by utilizing the tool here in my contextual toolbar, or I always have the blue button. It's always been here below my filter your results, either or. And what it'll do, it'll only bring in the content that I have from this topic page. So even if I filtered it down, but yet I want this visual look at my content, I can do that. Let me go back to my results. Oh, because I was on infographics. Let me go to all content types. You can see it's very specific. All right, let's do this again. We should see more available here. There we go. So even when I'm on a certain content type, you can see I can pull in that visual. Here I was on all content types, and this is directly related to that topic page. It'll pull just that content into this visual interactive tool. I click on TikTok and maybe one more, click down to platform, and it takes me to 14 different documents I have available. Could be videos, images, it's whatever we have available on that topic page related to TikTok and platform. If I'm accessing this from the home page, it always lives under advanced search, but from the home page, if I want to kick off my search using Topic Finder, and let's say I'm interested in electric cars. It will pull in from everywhere. So not just my curated collection on my topic page, it's going to pull in all content. And it does look at the first 100 words. And so this is like our top hits, our keywords it's looking at, and pulling in that content into this interactive tool. The larger the tile, the deeper the color, the more information we have. And again, with 2 clicks, maybe I'm interested specifically in the market or electric car makers. And I have all that content on the right-hand side. Okay, few other topics I shared with you, highlights and notes, tools to support accessibility. Let me click into this first document here. We do have the translate feature, the ability to and we're at 57 languages now. We just added a few more. So you can see you have that ability to translate the text into all these different languages, again, supporting this varying needs of students and those research skills that they are developing. You can enlarge the text or decrease it. Display options gives you the ability to change the color behind the text, change the font, increase the line, letter, and word spacing. And these are tools available in all your Gale resources. I can also listen to the text being read aloud to me. A question I get a lot is, can I listen if let's say I've chosen Spanish and translate, and then I click listen. Can I listen to that in Spanish? Yes, you can. We do have, I think we're at 27 languages here, so not all of them can you listen to, but you'll see if the listen icon is there, then you can listen to it. If it's not, then you can't. You can read it though, so you can still translate the text. And again, this display options feature is available, so meeting those varying needs of our students, and it will stick with me throughout my session. So if I go to another article, it'll stick with me and I have this feature set up. And don't forget this explore panel on the right-hand side where you have the ability to explore additional content, related subjects that we have available that can really get students into that content and finding content quickly. You have lots of great topics that your students have been searching for. For example, celebrity culture, self-driving cars, book banning, video games, TikTok, school uniforms is a top one just recently. And we have both school uniforms available and also school dress codes. So we have topic pages for both already curated for your students. E-cigarettes and vape products is something that they've been searching for, and nuclear energy just in the last year. Some of these were in the last month. So just to let you know some of those top search terms that are happening in South Carolina, that's what students are looking for in opposing viewpoints. Now, let me share with you some of those activities that we have available. I do have one open at the top. This is the first one on that curated list. So when you click into the link, you'll see that you do have, this one is teacher tips. So classroom activities for Gale In Context opposing viewpoints. These are great ideas and these are linked out too. So if I want to go to that lesson plan, I can click into utilize this tool or check it out. Let me see. Yeah, oh no, it does take me directly to that is great. She did that. So you can it takes you directly to that lesson plan. And this lesson plan has the rubric. It has our claim evidence and reasoning document, which you'll have access to just this document if you want. I did link it out in that, the document I created for you all. Speed debating. So you've got these great student activities available all within this one lesson plan. So you'll find tools such as that available within the resource. Bell ringers, scavenger hunts. These are just a few. Let me open a couple others. This one I love because today we're talking about research prep. Start your students here. Effective research, search like a pro. This will get them using the tools. Basic search, advanced search, utilizing some of those fields. So it'll help them find that content. And then here is below, you can see the ability to use those search limiters or filtering down your results, which we've already talked about today. So this is a document that'll help students. You do have short little answers here. There's a question with an answer. So when they are in the resource, we kind of want them to be able to answer some of these questions. So giving them instructions like searching for any topic that interests you, and then the answer, they can fill in this document digitally. We also have documents such as this, talking about highlights and notes that I've added to that document for you all. Blank graphic organizers, if you need bibliography organizers, we have those available. We also have that CER doc. Oh no, this one is, let's see what this one is. Oh, another graphic organizer. A lot of these were in that lesson plan too, if you noticed, like this one, the CER activity. So we have not only the resources, but also all of these great documents ready to go for you to take back to your teachers or to use in your classroom if you are a teacher. Here's one on researching or writing a persuasive paper with and utilizing research. So they're all ready to go. We also have, I've linked out a tip sheet. So utilizing Topic Finder, here's a tip sheet. And then the bottom section is all of our video tutorials. So here's one on when you need a research topic. And they're all under 3 minutes long. You can just share these with your students, or you're talking to them about citing documents. How do you use the citation tool? So we have a lot of Gale tools video tutorials available too. Even one for teachers and librarians on using Google Classroom with your Gale resources. Okay, and then this last one, research prep Gale resources. Oh, that's my sharing folder. Okay, so let me go back to our PowerPoint. Please let me know if you have any questions. I know I was sharing a lot of information. I just want to make sure you get the most out of this session. Again, your Gale support site, let me share that with you real quick. We have created a specific, oh, before I do, your Discus office help desk. If you need any help with any of your resources, not just Gale, but any of your resources, reach out directly to your Discus office. Here is their email. You can send them a quick message and they can help you. And they can contact us if they need any additional questions that they might have. But this is your first line of defense. These are the folks that you want to reach out to for help. They are there for you and able to support you with all of your Discus resources. What you'll also find on the Gale support site. So some tools are for our librarians, as we have usage options, and this would apply if you're using your own direct URLs. If you're using the Discus portal, then usage rolls up to Discus. If you're using your direct URLs, I know we have some schools that do, we have a usage document talking about the dashboard as compared to the portal. Most of our schools use the dashboard. We also have content specific training materials available. We've organized them by month, so you'll find that in the training center on the support site. We have some other documents such as this one, discovering new individuals with person search. And also you're going to find marketing materials available there on the Gale support site. So if you're looking to promote your resources, you can utilize these marketing materials, bookmarks, posters. We even have social media posts. Since we're talking about social media, we have social media posts and communication templates available. And that wraps our session. My name again is Tammy Burke. I'm a senior trainer at Gale. I thank you for taking time out of your day to meet with me and learn a little bit more about what Opposing Viewpoints has to offer and what tools and materials you have ready to go on your Gale support site. If you have time to take a survey, I use that feedback. I share it internally. It is completely anonymous, but I also will share it with our folks at Discus. So you should have the continue button should pop up when you leave me today. To just continue and answer a few questions. And if you can leave any feedback, that would be great. Again, I do share it internally as part of our success stories here at Gale. And then, or if you'd like to use a QR code, it is here if you prefer that. Or I also have a bit.ly URL. So any way you can answer that survey I provided for you to make it as easy as possible. But that wraps our session. I will stay on if there's any additional questions, but thank you all for taking time out of your day to learn a little bit more about your Discus resources that you have from Gale and all of the tools you have available to support those research skills as you are all preparing for those projects that are going to be happening in the next couple months. So thanks everyone, and have a great rest of your day.